What's going on, people in YouTube land? KimchiChris here, and welcome to today's brand new video where we are going to tackle and we are going to talk about and we are going to review a brand new record from a band that hasn't put anything out in a really long time. That record is called 40. The band is Stray Cats, and let's jump into this. So if you're somehow unfamiliar with Stray Cats, they are a band that came to prominence in the 80s, playing music that sounded like it was from the 50s. They were basically a straightforward rockabilly band that really got popular during the MTV era. They were huge during that time period, and then they kind of went away at one point. And the Stray Cats did go on to spawn a superstar of sorts, at least in the guitar world, Brian Setzer. Yes, he went on to have a very prominent solo career. He also formed the Brian Setzer Orchestra in the 90s that went on to revive big band music because apparently rockabilly wasn't enough for him to bring into the modern era, and to this day he tours with the orchestra, he tours solo, he has the Brian Setzer Rockabilly Riot that he tours around with, and now the time has come to put out some new Stray Cats music. So while Lee Rocker and Slim Jim weren't completely docile and useless during this time, they didn't really have the career that Brian Setzer had. So getting the guys back together, logical move for those guys, definitely logical for Brian even at this point. I think that these guys are best when they are together. As great as the solo stuff is from Brian and the other guys, they are an amazing force to be reckoned with when they're together. And they've been touring off and on through the years, but it's time to finally put a new record out because it's the 40th anniversary of the band. So how does 40 hold up with the rest of their catalog? Well, that's going to depend on your opinion of the rest of the catalog, because let's just be fair, if you love this band and we're waiting in anticipation and fever and excitement for this record, you're probably gonna be pleased. Spoiler alert right there. But if you thought this band was dumb back in the day and just a silly throwback, you're probably gonna think they're dumber now and even a sillier throwback. And 40 stands up as a stupendous throwback record that could hold its own with anything from this band's output back in the day. They aren't reinventing the wheel here. They aren't trying to sound modern. They aren't trying to sound new. This is exactly what we want out of Stray Cats. Straight up rockabilly with amazing guitar solos, thumping stand-up bass, and some amazing drum lines coupled with some lyrics that just make you want to get up, dance, get a girl, get a drink, get a car, and have a good time. I mean, any record that starts off with a track called Cat Fight Over a Dog Like Me and then goes straight into a second track called Rock It Off, I'm gonna love that. I'm going to love that. Really, the only thing here that sounds different from the band's early recordings is that all the guys have just become better musicians. They were never bad, don't get me wrong, but they've had 40 years to really hone their craft, and these guys are killer at this point. I mean, this is just some ridiculous musicianship over some great songs, and it just delivers on all parts there. Now, as much as I'm praising this thing musically, the one place it falls just a little bit flat would be the lyrics. Now, I didn't expect anything groundbreaking here. I knew these songs would be about girls. I knew they'd be about cars. I knew they'd be about living fast, dying young, and drinking. But these guys didn't die young. They're in their late 60s, early 70s perhaps, I don't know. I'm not gonna look it up on Wikipedia, but they're not young is the point. And you just know that at this day and age, these guys are more concerned about getting their kids, or well, probably grandkids, to bed on time, to school on time, going to the golf course, getting their groceries, painting their back deck. They're way more concerned about that than driving a fast car and getting themselves a loose, easy girl. But that's also what works so well about this, is because these lyrics, while a bit cheesy for guys of their age, do work really well if you take that out of the picture and throw these songs into the vision of a young band still doing them. And you could envision a young band still doing these songs in this record because they don't sound old outside the music itself being rooted in the past. And to be fair, that's always been the genius of this band. They were a 50s sounding band that came out in the 80s and are now releasing a new record 40 years later, still rooted in youth culture and still pulling it off so well despite the fact that they are so removed from youth culture. Now, mind you, it's youth culture of the 50s. They're not singing about the youth culture of today. They're not singing about Tinder and TikTok and Post Malone and all these other crazy things that are probably gonna make me sound dated because I don't know youth culture that well at this point. But here, full circle, what I'm getting at is these guys really paint a very good picture, even if it's a fictional picture at this point, about what they're trying to really deliver with their music, their lyrics, their image, everything that is Stray Cats. So the short and the long of it is, if you like this band, if you like this style of music, maybe you just like Brian Setzer as a solo artist, you're going to enjoy this record. If you're looking for just a couple tracks to check out to see if this is for you, I don't know, they're all good. I haven't really talked about the individual songs that much because there is a bit of a sameness to them, but they're all good. If you like one, you're gonna like them all. I don't know, I Attract Trouble, Rock It Off, those are 2 good ones to check out. Check out those. If you're feeling it, if you're dancing, if you're bobbing your head, this record is for you. And as for a number, I guess I'd give this thing like an 8.5 out of 10. Now, the reason it's not perfect, despite me saying how great it is and really praising it, is again, there's not a lot of innovation. These are older guys, you know, that whole thing, but for the 8.5, the positives of it, I mean, the playing is amazing, the writing is amazing, the recording is amazing. This is just such a great throwback record, but it's not gonna attract any new fans at the end of the day. And of course, the other positive of this is if they're putting out new music, maybe they're toured a little bit more, they're already touring more than they have before, and maybe at some point I'll get to see the original Stray Cats myself. That would be awesome. But what do you guys think of this record? Have you checked it out already? Are you gonna check it out now because of this review? Do you have a history of Stray Cats? Let me know in the comments below. Smash that thumbs up button so I get that like from you, because it really helps the channel out more than you'll ever know. Hit that subscription button as well. If you're new around here and you want to get more rock and roll, heavy metal, Kiss content, it's always great to hit that sub button. Hit the alarm so you get the updates. Once again, my name is KimchiChris, and I will see you guys on the next video.